Hey guys, Marsengan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so we have the EZA for the LR, Broly, Chilai, and Lemo, aka the Broly Trio, live on Global. We finished doing the 10 stages of the event, got them fully EZA'd. Mine are Rainbow full level 10 links. So we're going to be checking them out here, checking out their full potential. They only have one 200% team, which is the AGL Broly team, which realistically that's the team you want to run them on anyway. They do have a movie bosses leader skill for 4 key and 150 to stats, or extreme physical 4 key and 100%, so they could be useful for things like battlefield and stuff like that, but obviously their leader skill is not really important. Their super attack effects post EZA are now very good. Their 18 key super is massively raise attack and defense for 1 turn, which is a 100% raise, mega colossal damage to the enemy. And then the 12 key is greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, which is obviously 50%, colossal damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers attack. So every additional super is giving them a 50% raise to their stats and greatly lowering attack, which is useful in some of the events now, which is good. And then their passive, as you can see, pretty long now. So they're a new King style unit. They get 30% attack and defense per key sphere obtained. They get an additional 10% attack and defense if it's a physical orb. Then they get 2 extra key per key sphere obtained, so very easy to get lots of key with them. All allies 2 key and attack 39% when AGL or STR orbs are obtained. All allies 2 key and defense 39% with tech or int key spheres obtained. And then all allies key 2 and attack and defense 15% with rainbow key spheres. And then they buff themselves with the physical orbs, right? It's the extra 10% attack and defense. So what that means is if you can get, let's say, AGL orbs and rainbow orbs, you're giving your allies both of those buffs. So it'll be 4 key and then what, 54% attack and 15% defense. Or if they're tech or int orbs, it'll be 54% defense and 15% attack, which is obviously still very good, as well as 4 key. So very good for the team, lots of key. They get an additional 39% attack when performing a super. They get an additional super attack and give movie bosses or super bosses allies 10% damage reduction when key is 24. So 10% damage reduction to all the allies that are movie bosses or super bosses, as well as extra attack when you get to 24 key, which, as we've already said, right, with the extra key per orb and the key that they give with support, it's actually really easy to get 24 key with them. They have a guaranteed dodge, obviously, if you get 7 orbs. That was always their gimmick, right? The 7 orbs because of the 7 Dragon Balls used to teleport Broly away from Gogeta at the end of the movie. So if you get 7 orbs, you get a 100% chance to dodge. If you don't get the 7 orbs, though, they now have a 50% chance to dodge just built in. So that's good as well. And then, yeah, they change key spheres of a certain type to physical when HP is 60% or less, and they change all of the orbs on the field to physical if HP is 39% or less once only. So pretty crazy. These guys will be really good against Kid Buu because of the type advantage over the int phase, having the dodge, greatly lowering attack on their additional supers. So yeah, these guys are going to be very interesting. We want to get them linked up with physical Goku Black. It's a really good rotation for them with him being another orb changer. But you can see here we can get 7 orbs with a rainbow, and so physical orbs are just giving them the buff, because obviously if we do this we can only get 6, but and get 7 orbs, so that puts us straight up to 24 key. We have basically 300k defense start of turn, but we can't be hit. And we're giving everybody the 15% attack and defense because we've got rainbow orbs as well as 2 key. So you can see like Zamasu's already on 19 key at the start of the turn, which is pretty good. Only 1 rainbow orb for Rose, unfortunately, but we'll go ahead and do this. We'll get Rose floated off, I think, next time around. So they get the dodge and then 12.9 on their first turn here. Considering, like, I used them, like, as I was saying on stream before we started this run, I actually did this event with them pre-EZA just to see what it would be like. And obviously if you can get the 7 orbs, they dodge and they don't take damage. But I think the highest attack stat I saw them get up to was like 1.8. So you can see now, like, we got the additional, we got an additional normal from the hidden potential, which could have been another super as well. The additional 12 key super doing 8 mil. So they did basically 20 mil attack stat worth of attacks with their 2 supers while being unable to be hit because we got 7 orbs, giving everybody on the rotation support, including damage reduction because we had them at 24 key, which means that Rose, after supering, obviously he's not getting attacked here, but after supering would still have 40% damage reduction, and Zamasu has a crazy amount of damage reduction early on in the event as well. So that extra 10% damage reduction is really, really strong. I mean, I guess I do want Rose Flow. We're not really worried about the rotations here so much as we are like the showcase, right? So I'm going to do this and then do this because I want to float off Goku Black here. We probably just kill Goku this turn anyway. Even the Broly with no links potentially is just going to kill him. But yeah, that 10% damage reduction is definitely not something to be overlooked, right? And you get it just by getting them to 24 key, which with all the extra key they get per orb, with the support that they give, with the different orbs that they pick up, like, it's very, very easy to get them to 24 key. I remember testing them out on JP when the anniversary happened over there, and like, I don't think, in the one run I used them, I don't think I had a single turn where they didn't get 24 key, which is crazy. Because of all that support and everything. Very, very good. And obviously, like we say, if you get the certain type orbs and not the physical, it doesn't buff them as much, but then you're giving your rotation even more support. I mean, this rotation is going to be pretty crazy. No 7 orbs, though, because this is the thing. We do want an orb changer with them at all times, really. So we'll keep them in the middle here. Yeah, I didn't drop those down the way I would have liked. So STR orbs gives the allies, is it attack? Yes, so let's go ahead and do that. We can get a rainbow orb as well. So you can see, right, we've got like 111 for Frieza, 26 for Goku Black. Rainbow orb gives everybody 15%. So now Frieza up to 117, Goku Black at 28. And then no rainbow orbs for Rose, but that's fine. Just do that. But yeah, even then with that rotation, we didn't get the 7 orbs, but we still got them to 24 key, which means they massively raise attack on their 18 key super, which is a 100% raise, right? So they go up to basically 600k defense. Then they're getting the additional 12 key, which is a 50%, so they go up to like 750. And they have a 50% chance to dodge. So we're still hitting a 12 mil. That's obviously, we got less orbs, but the physical orbs gave them a bigger buff. We have the support from Golden Frieza as well. That's the kind of turn we want, right? Because next turn, now that we've floated off physical Goku Black, we're going to have these guys with physical Goku Black, so they should be able to get a ton of orbs and the Golden Frieza support in slot 3, which is 60% extra attack. There's that 50% chance to dodge, and then obviously they're going to tank normals for double-digit damage, which is very good. Because yeah, these guys, if you want, you can run them on the team as a 3rd slot floating unit, but one of the things that's going to be very good for this team setup is if you are trying to set up like the double Broly rotation, because a lot of teams you want to have one of your leaders on both rotations. I mean, these guys do share, I think it's only like 3 links, but they do share some links with Broly. But it means you can get both of your leaders, get both the Brolys together onto one of the rotations, have the other rotation be the Broly trio, and then you should be looking good. So the guest has the higher defense. Is it because of the... Yeah, no, it's not because of the links, so we should put him in slot 1, really. You here. As long as we don't get supered straight away, although we have the guard, so we should live regardless. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, because they were on turn 2, it's now turn 4. It means we don't get the actual Broly transformation until the next turn around, but that's fine. Yeah, Anto, how's it going? Alright, so I don't think... Well, we could get some crits here with the friends, I guess, and then Zamasu is going to be doing some decent damage in slot 3. So actually, we probably do kill him this turn. But yeah, next rotation we get onto God Goku. I like using this event to showcase units now, because not only is it one of the new anniversary events, but obviously against God Goku phase, any non-tech units don't do as much damage. So the event gets dragged out a little bit, and it just means we get more turns to see like what these characters can do. But we're going to have the rotation that we've been trying to set up now. Broly Trio and Physical Goku Black, with the support from Golden Frieza as well. So this should be a very, very good rotation for the Broly trio. Especially if we end up getting physical orbs, which are the ones that give them the bigger buff, because then they're getting 40% per orb, which is pretty wild. So, alright, so we can do this. There's 11 physical orbs. So their start of turn defense is 123 with the bit of support from Frieza. If we get 11 orbs, so 9 of them are physical and 2 of them are rainbow. So that puts them up to 459k start of defense, which again doesn't really matter because they're not going to get hit anyway. But it means after they do their 18 key super, they would be at 900k defense. And then after getting an additional from like the additional 12 key, that then puts them up to like 1.1.5 million, I think. So then if they get an additional from the hidden potential, they'd be at like 1.3. So even in events that disable dodge, after they super, they still have over 1 million defense. It means they wouldn't be good in slot 1, obviously. But by putting them together with Goku Black, like, they obviously got the majority of the orbs, but he's still able to pick up 8 orbs here, which is still good for him. And then obviously Frieza's giving the support as well. So let's see what these guys are going to do now. 11 physical orbs and the support from Golden Frieza. Yeah, 19.9 million. Not bad for a unit that literally can't take any damage, is giving everyone on the rotation extra attack and defense, 10% damage reduction. The additional does 12, so that puts them up to about 32 million in total. And of course, remember the 12 key greatly lowers attack, which we can't do against God Goku, but we can do against like Kid Buu, Gogeta, additional 13, so that was what? Did I say it was like 32? So then they got up to like 45 million worth of attack stat supers in that turn, whilst being essentially invincible and supporting the rotation. It's pretty good. So yeah, these guys were, as I've said before, the EZA came out, very much a long-awaited piece of the puzzle for the Super Bosses team. These guys are very, very strong. Probably should transform the weaker Broly, really. Although, yeah, the friend one has had the most stacks. So, I guess we'll transform the friend one. Because, of course, his buff to extreme units, which means we'll be buffing the Broly trio as well for the next rotation. So, let's go for these. These. And then we can get couple of rainbow orbs for Rose at the end here as well. Double Broly rotation, always fun to use. 25 mil, yeah, here come the big attack stats. I mean, that's what's so crazy about the Broly trio EZA is if their attack stats were low, like their 18 key super was doing like 10 mil, and then I say low, people will say like 10. I mean, 10 mil is kind of low now for premium LRs and stuff, but if their 18 key super was doing like 10 mil, and then their additionals were doing like 4 or 5, they would still be really good because of everything else that they do. But yeah, the fact that you can get them up to the kind of damage levels that they're doing, whilst also supporting the team, potentially being invincible. I mean, once you get the this rotation set up with Goku Black, I feel like that's a really, really strong setup, because even if he's not able to get as many orbs as he would if he was on a rotation by himself, he's in slot 2, which means he's going to be getting all of his post-super defense. And then if the Broly trio got 24 key, which as we've seen is very, very easy to do, that Goku Black has 10% extra damage reduction as well as all of the defense that he has post-super. Because we know when physical Goku Black is fully built up, he can get well over 1 million defense. So then with 10% damage reduction on top, I mean, he can still get taken out by big supers. Like when we were trying to do that new movie event when it came out versus Gogeta, like we were getting to the final stage against the physical Super Saiyan Gogeta, and a super attack from him would still kill physical Goku Black. But having that extra 10% damage reduction definitely makes a big bit of difference. The defensive support that they give as well, like especially if you're getting nearer to the end of the event, if it's possible with the orbs that are available, if you're getting the tech or int orbs, remember they're giving 54% defense to the entire rotation if you're getting a rainbow orb as well. So yeah, they are basically a support unit, but they can also do a ton of damage and be invincible if you get the right orbs, which is pretty crazy. They really are only good for super bosses or movie bosses, but this is something I've kind of said before in the past, right? If a unit is locked to being on 1 or 2 teams, I don't have a huge issue with it as long as they're really good on that team, and then they are basically one of the go-to units for that team. And I would say these guys are very much like, I wouldn't say must run necessarily, but they are a go-to unit for the super bosses team, especially if you are missing 1 or 2 of the units that I'm using, like if you don't have Golden Frieza, or if you don't have Rose, if you didn't summon for him when he came out. Ooh. Should we go for the attack buff on this one? Well, we kind of have to unless I do that, and then that wouldn't be 7 orbs. So we get extra attack for everyone on the rotation here by doing the STR orbs. Goku Black can still get 10 orbs here, which is obviously really good for him. What does that put his post-orb pickup defense at? Yeah, 653k. And remember, he gets, 150% defense when attacking. So on attacking, he's going to get, what, 900k extra defense? So he's going to be at 1.5 million with 10% damage reduction because we got 24 key with the Broly trio. And they're at 411 start of turn. Not that it really matters because they can't get hit. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah, 18.3. I mean, yeah, these guys, obviously if you've got a rotation, there are some rotations where they're going to have more links. Like we looked at their link partners before we started, and their best link partners are a lot of characters that are not on super bosses, which is a bit unfortunate. Random characters like Hearts and stuff like that. So when you get some of those extra links, we'll take a look at their links here in a minute, but 14 million for physical Goku Black. He's going to eat the super now. I know God Goku isn't the hardest hitting unit in the world, but let's see. Will this be double digit damage? 57k. Okay, he's not fully built up yet either. You can see, yeah, we're still getting the defense up icons. So he was nowhere near fully built up, but was still having that level of defense that we saw, like after picking up the orbs. If he was already fully built up on this rotation, we could probably get over 2 mil defense, which would be kind of nuts. But yeah, when we take a look at their links, obviously if we're running them with Goku Black, we're just getting Big Bad Bosses and Fierce Battle. But they have links like Brainiacs, which the Frieza does have. So if you put them together, and these guys not in slot 1, that's an extra 15% attack and defense. Cold Judgment is just even more defense. Solid Support is like a weird link, but it gives extra attack. So like on rotations where you're getting some more of these links active, I think Hearts has Brainiacs and Solid Support. They're obviously able to hit much higher attack stats, but as we say, right, they're basically supposed to be a support unit. They're not on the team to do crazy amounts of damage, but the fact that they can do the attack stats that they do while doing everything else that they do at the same time, I would say these guys are an absolutely fantastic EZA go-to unit for the Super Bosses team. The double Broly rotation, even with the damage reduction that Goku has, with the Frieza support as well, we should be finishing this guy off here. I mean, how wild is Broly? Additional 12 key super and he's at 20 million attack stat. And he's going to do at least 1 more of these. Potentially 2 more. So, yeah, definitely having a lot of fun with Broly. I said before the anniversary, right, when people were asking about it, Beast Gohan might be like the best unit in the game when the anniversary comes to a close. But like, Broly is probably the most fun unit out of the anniversary for me, at least so far. Really, really good. So, okay, so we can get int orbs this time, which are the ones that give defense.
Do you want to taste the power of the ultimate
So
android?
I'm really intrigued actually to see what Goku Black's defense is going to be here. So we can get 9 orbs, and then we also got the defensive support from the Broly trio. So yeah, Goku Black is at 1.1 million defense, and he gets 150% when attacking. So his defense is going to be 2.5 million after he supers with 10% damage reduction, which means there's basically, I mean, some of the bigger, harder hitting bosses at the moment in the game are doing like 3 million damage supers. So if we take 3 million minus 10% for the damage reduction from the Broly trio, of course I pressed the wrong button. So 3 million minus 10% is going to be like 270, right? 2,700,000. Then we take off the fact he's going to have 2.5 million defense. That means a 3 million damage super attack would do 200k to Goku Black on this turn, which is pretty good. So, and what are you at start? So you're at Rose is not known for having crazy start of turn defense, right? Because he has the 60% damage reduction before he attacks, but we are also getting the domain buff as well. Now obviously by picking up the int orbs and not the attack buff or the physical ones, the Broly trio are getting a much lower attack stat on this turn, 14 mil, but everything defense wise is now super high. Like, that kind of rotation is going to be really good against some of these tougher bosses, giving everybody on the rotation all that extra defense, damage reduction from having 24 key, like, just such a fantastic EZA, which is funny for me to say because, like, the Broly trio were a unit that people used to meme about, right? Because even, like, pre-EZA, they weren't very good, but the 7 orbs giving them guaranteed dodge meant that if you ran them with orb changes, you could like cheese their way through difficult events because technically they could never get hit. But I was never a big fan because they didn't really contribute much to the team outside of that. So it is kind of funny for them to have gone from that like silly meme unit to now like their EZA is actually really good. Like they got a fantastic EZA for sure. Physical Goku Black doing double 21 million attack stat supers as well. So there you go. That is the LR Broly trio with their EZA. I think they are absolutely fantastic, as I said. Awesome EZA. The anniversary definitely delivered with these EZAs and new units. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I think actually, let me just double check here because I didn't show my hidden potential build. I don't think they're a unit that you want to give a lot of dodge to. We were talking about this before we started recording the showcase because every turn that you get 7 orbs with them, you've basically wasted any dodge in the hidden potential because they're going to 100% dodge anyway. So I gave mine mostly additional because of that greatly raise and the attack lower on the 12 key. I did give them a bit of crit because whilst they're not on the team to do damage, if they crit, obviously they can do some pretty solid damage. And then they've got a little bit of dodge because I give all my units like 3 dodge or something anyway. But the 4 dodge literally just comes from one of the skill orbs that they have. So I think mostly additional with then the rest into crit. I don't think dodge is really super necessary, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the links below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.